wheat field, dryland wheat in north central Washington, where we have one of our KTS trials, demonstration trials. KTS has been used on wheat for quite a few years. We've looked at it in a number of ways, including in planter bands and as a foliar. We chose foliar as our main way of getting KTS on because if you look at the way that wheat grows, 14% of the potassium that wheat will require, it will get used during from germination to tillering. But the maximum uptake time for wheat is from tillering to early boot. That's a very short window, and 75% of the potassium that wheat's going to use, it's going to use in that short window of time. So you ask the question, if you were going to put potassium down, when would you probably get your best opportunity for a yield response? It would be during that time. And it just so happens that that's also the time that we apply herbicides. So the KTS can end up getting a free ride with that herbicide application. So perfect timing. Now we just need to find the right rate. Over the years when KTS first came out, we looked at 1 and 2 gallons per acre. And in almost every instance, 1 gallon was better than 2. So, but just recently, in the last 5-6 years, I started doing some rate studies of looking at KTS at less than 4 quarts to the acre. And what we found is that in the case of using 2 quarts versus 4 quarts, in almost every application, 2 quarts per acre outperformed 4 quarts per acre. So now we've got KTS use down in a fairly good fashion to where we're fairly cost efficient and we're getting a nice yield response, ranging anywhere, depending on the moisture and the soil type, 5 bushel to the acre up to as high as 26 bushel to the acre. So we've got that rate figured out pretty well. But now we get up into an area like this, and what I call a dryland area, and we're only getting about, again, 9 to 12, 11 inches of moisture for the season. Most of it comes as snow. And even at 2 quarts to the acre, when I've done work up here, we've gotten about 3.5, 4 bushel increase, which isn't bad. It paid for the product and returned the grower some money, but there's a risk involved. It's not a very big return for the input that we have to put in. So because I've seen some good response of using reduced rates of KTS, this is my first year of looking at KTS put on again at peak stage 4 or 5 with that herbicide spray, but using 1 quart to the acre. So when we end up at harvest time, we're going to be able to harvest this field and we'll be able to see what kind of response we got with that 1 quart application. One of the interesting things that I did last year was look at the flag leaf and the health of the flag leaf, because if you read the literature, you'll find that the flag leaf is responsible for about 65 to 70% of the yield that you're going to get on your wheat. So it only makes sense that if we can have a healthier, more robust flag leaf, if we have enough moisture, then we should be able to say that we'll have a higher yield because of that. What we found last year, I took readings on the flag leaf of where we applied KTS and where we didn't. And over about the course of 4 readings on the flag leaf, so over a month's period of time, reading them once a week, we averaged about 8% more chlorophyll in those leaves in the treated with the KTS than we saw in the untreated fields. I didn't know if that meant we were going to get a higher yield, but at least there was some quantitative difference like that. Well, it come to find out that indication of higher, more healthier, more active flag leaf, by the time it senesced off, related to anywhere from 5 to 11 more bushel to the acre. So in this particular field, what I want to do, the heads are just now out, partially out to fully out, but the flag leaf is fully extended, and we're going to take some measurements on the chlorophyll, and we'll do it from this point on for the next probably 4 weeks or until this crop senesces. So I want to show you how I do that. All right, we want to show you what to look for when we're using this chlorophyll meter. So what we'll do is we'll look for a flag leaf that's already out. Here's the head that's almost completely out. And we want to take a chlorophyll reading on that particular leaf. So we will put it in the slot. We push our button to get what our chlorophyll reading is. And it says it's at 90 or 60, and the percent index number is 90. So those two numbers are important. One gives you exactly what the chlorophyll is. The second one scales it up on a percent basis. So we know that this is a pretty healthy leaf. And what we'll do is we'll take this measurement quite a few times, both on the north and south edges of our demonstration trial, do a multitude of plants, and we'll do it over the next 4 or 5 week period of time, as long as these flag leaves are alive. And hopefully we can take what we learned from this, and if we see that our KTS application gave us a healthier flag leaf, then maybe that will indicate that we have a higher yield.